How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be doing my review for Secret Invasion Season 1, Episode 5, which was titled Harvest. Apologies for not posting a review for Episode 4 last week. I was on vacation. I'm a little pissed that I didn't get to do a review for that episode, though, because that was a pretty good one. It revealed a lot of things, particularly Rhodey being revealed to be a Skrull, apparently by the name of Rava, I believe. And episode 5, this episode, is another decent one, and it got me very excited for the finale, especially with how this episode kind of wrapped up and ended with Fury finally putting on his trench coat, his eye patch, and he's ready to kick some ass, and it was just a really good ending. And I'm looking forward to the finale. I can't believe this is already the penultimate episode, second to last, and yeah, this series flew by. I mean, it's only 6 episodes, but definitely flew by. And main thing I want to address about this episode, which I guess happened in the previous episode, but Talos is actually dead. And I was shocked with how they ended last week's episode, but it does seem like with what they were doing with Gaia and Vara in this episode, where they kind of have that ceremony for him where he's actually dead and they have his body, it seems like Talos is dead for real. And man, that's pretty sad. He was one of my favorite characters in the show, and just honestly in the MCU, to be honest. I mean, I loved when he was introduced in Captain Marvel. He was probably my favorite character in that movie, I guess along with Nick Fury. And yeah, it just sucks that he's actually dead. And I loved Ben Mendelsohn as the character. I thought he added a lot of charm to the character and just to the MCU as a whole. So I'm going to be missing Talos because I'm buying into the fact he's dead. Of course, we could see him pop up some way, somehow again in like a flashback or something, which wouldn't be surprised if we do see that in the finale, a flashback of him. I'm hoping there will be, just to add some context for a certain scene or something like that will happen in the finale. But very unfortunate that happened. But let me hear your thoughts on that down in the comments, because I feel like a lot of people really loved Talos, and he was kind of like, I don't know, just one of the better characters in the show. So it'll be sad to move on without him. But anyway, in this episode, we also have Rhodey saying that Maria Hill's, footage of her dying, Nick Fury killing her. Obviously, it was Gravik, but Rhodey says that it's going to go public. And I knew this was going to come back and kind of bite Fury in the ass a little bit. I mentioned it in one of my previous reviews, how I would think the footage would probably go public or something like that. And Fury has to kind of be very elusive in this episode. And he puts on that, veil that I think was in Black Widow, or Black Widow used, something like that. Well, there's also another Black Widow reference. I think the character name, Rick Mason, he's in this episode for like a brief scene. He was in Black Widow, and that was pretty cool to see him pop up. And we see that Fury has this vial, the Harvest vial, at the very end of the episode in one of his fake graves, which apparently has many of those throughout the world, which I think is pretty smart and makes sense. Just makes a lot of sense that Fury would have a bunch of fake grave sites, I feel like, and be very sneaky like this. And then we see him have this vial, which apparently is going to take it to Gravik. And I don't know why, because this Harvest vial is apparently really powerful. It has like Avengers DNA in it. So I'm assuming he has some tricks up his sleeve. He has a plan going into this, which of course we'll be seeing that in episode 6 in the finale. But that was unexpected. I don't exactly know what he's going to do with it. Because if Gravik did get a hold of that vial, he'd be even more Super Skrull. Obviously, we already see him in this episode have the Super Skrull abilities, and we saw it in the last episode as well. He's getting powerful, and he's already very powerful. So if he did get the Harvest Vial, I don't know, I just feel like he'd be like almost unstoppable. And of course, the Avengers can't get involved in this. Fury says it's kind of more of a personal thing in the episode now at this point, which makes sense. But obviously, it'd just be too much for the budget if they had all the Avengers going at it with the Skrulls. And going back to Gravik, he's actually kind of attacked in this episode by some of his people in his faction that kind of turn on him a little bit. And I was wondering how that scene was going to play out, because it seemed like that kind of group of people that were attacking him were, about to kind of kill him. they're about to suffocate him with a bag. But no, Gravik pulls through, of course, and ends up killing all of them. And I think one of them was Beto, actually. The one he slits the guy's throat. I think that was Beto. So that's pretty crazy. I kind of like that character. He's kind of a side character, but I don't know. He seemed chill. And Gravik's just kind of unhinged right now. But again, very powerful. And we'll be seeing that in the finale to see how powerful he gets. I don't really know how it's going to end this show, but I've been enjoying it so far, and I am excited to see where it goes from here, just to see how it all wraps up. But yeah, this was a solid episode. We also got that great action sequence with Vara and Gaia, with those guns. It was pretty badass, to be honest. And I really enjoyed that scene in Vara's house. And just that going away kind of ceremony they did for Talos. I'm really sad that had to happen. And I don't know how Gaia is going to be handling it. I mean, she's got to be pretty sad, obviously. But I'm liking what they're doing with her, actually. I do like Gaia's character a lot. Glad she was revealed to be alive in last week's episode as well. They ended episode 3 with her dying, and I was like, well, I hope she's not dead. Sure enough, she's still alive, and all is well. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm worried just because I don't want Gravik to win, ultimately. I don't think that's going to happen. We already know Nick Fury is going to be in the Marvels, so we know Fury is going to be fine. But yeah, we'll see. I think it'll be all right, but I think the Skrulls are very much a problem still in the Marvels. Maybe they aren't. Maybe I'm making that up. But I'm liking the show so far, and I'm just curious to see how it all ends, but I'm just rambling on now. Post your thoughts and comments on this episode, because I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about it. It was pretty solid, but it doesn't seem like many people are really watching the show, which is kind of unfortunate. Very violent episode as well, again. Whole show's been pretty violent. Not as quite as violent as some of the Marvel Netflix shows, but in this episode, Sonya, which I almost forgot to talk about her. She's amazing in this episode, Olivia Colman. She's been amazing the whole show. And she wasn't in last episode, but she was in this episode, so that's good to see her. I kind of wanted her to get a spinoff, to be honest. I'm really enjoying what they're doing with her character, because she's pretty badass and menacing, but also kind of funny and hilarious. Just the way she kind of is menacing. Very interesting character, and of course her and Fury are kind of teamed up right now. I'm liking that duo a lot, and I want to see Sonya do some more crazy things in the finale. But yeah, the show, it's pretty violent, I would say. Again, it's not quite on the level of the Marvel Netflix shows in terms of all the blood, but it is borderline that level, and I appreciate it. But yeah, decent episode. Excited to see where things go. I'll end the video now, finally. So yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. Check out my Letterboxd and Twitter in the description. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.